if you're a beginner DJ and you want to start sounding like a pro DJ immediately, your main goal is going to be building confidence, consistency, and momentum. Now, by the end of this video, you're going to know how to transition in the same way most of the big name DJs and producers mix. So for instance, let's say you're into Miss Monique, okay? Now, sure, she mixes up her transition, she's got an awesome vibe, okay? But quite often, there's nothing wrong with this, but quite often these big producers are actually allowing the song to play, maybe because it's their own song as well, and maybe they want to play the whole thing, or maybe with some kinds of progressive house, the second drop might be better than the first drop, and they're taking their crowd on a journey, and it's very common for these big producers to play the full song and to mix in after the last chorus on the outro. And I'll be honest with you, this is a great place for you to start, and there's nothing wrong with intro outro mixing. And by mixing on the outro, what it means is it's a lot safer than mixing into the middle of the song, because when mixing in the middle of the song can kick back in. Now sure, we can get there and I can develop your skills, but I really think for beginners, the best place for you to start and to build your confidence is to actually mix over the outro of the song playing. Anyway, so let's jump in. So let's say then you're a beginner, you want to mix over the outro, and let's say you're looking at your waveforms and you're like, well, how do I even know where the outro is? So just someone here, the outro is typically where I guess the personality leaves the song. Like, so all of a sudden it drops off and there's like a clean beat there. So let's have a listen. So here, that's okay. To be honest, there's still personality, but there's less personality than there. Oh, have a listen. So you got more there, then you got that, but then near the end here, well, you've got even less. But then again, okay, I just want to kind of find where it drops off a little bit, and I can control a lot with the EQ. Okay, really can. So okay, so in this case, I've gone and found where I think it drops off a bit. Okay, cool, bang. But there, here's the thing. Let's say I mix on the outro. The outro is coming up. Forget about the EQ for now. Cool. Okay, so let's say that I beat match in my headphones. I really do think beat matching is good practice. You should be doing it. I know you could hit sync for now, but if you can practice beat matching, you know. Okay, cool. Easy, easy. And then let's say then you come in. I'll get to the EQ in a sec. Let's just, you know, get it lining up first. But let's say I'm doing that, I'll be honest. There's a whole lot of downtime, okay? Because that's the problem. If you go put the intro, the first bit of the intro on the first bit of the outro, in the time that the songs come to kick in, like there could be a minute of downtime where there's not a lot going on, and in that time, if you're playing live, you could actually lose your dance floor. So what we really want to do is we want the chorus to finish, okay, and then it goes into the outro, and instead of hitting play with our new song on the outro, maybe come in a little bit earlier, give ourselves some time to beat match, come in over the end of the chorus, and then when the chorus ends, hopefully something kicks in there. But how do you do that? Now, there's different ways. Stick around to the end of the video. I'll show you how to do it without cue points and take guesses by looking at the waveform. But let's say you want to make sure that everything lines up perfectly all the time. Setting cue points is really advantageous. Now, there are two types of cues you can set. So there's memory cues and hot cues. Personally, I think hot cues are really good for jumping around the track real time and maybe doing mashups on the fly or skipping certain parts of the track. But memory cues, especially with like, you know, Pioneer gear, it's read by all club equipment, and I can use it kind of like to map in and out points. So what I've done in this is I've actually gone and found where that first beat of the outro is, and then using Record Box, I've actually gone and jumped back 8 or 16 bars. So the 8 bars is the phrase. That's how long that you've got till the changes kick in. If you don't know about phrasing and music theory, I honestly think I've got the best material on teaching that. I can not only teach you how to phrase everything perfectly, so all your transitions line up every single time, but I condition the phrasing and mixing process, and I can get you very, very confident very quickly. But again, that's all kind of, you get that kind of detail in a course. So anyway, check out Club Ready DJ course. It's in the description below. But for now, what I've done is I've gone and found the outro, and I've gone back, I think for the deeper kinds of house, maybe going back 16 bars. So I found that, gone back 16 bars, and I've gone and put a cue point there. And that means then if I hit play at that point, I've got then 8 bars to beat match, 8 bars to come in over the end of the chorus, and then the chorus ends and my new song kicks in and hopefully kicks into something kind of cool. Let me show you that. So I've got my cue point coming up here. 2, 3, 4, bang, cool, cool. Beat match. Cool, okay. Would have to be doing EQ. Stick around, I'll show you the EQ next. But let's just say without the EQ now, this is more about phrasing and placing. Cool, no harm doing that out loud. Not many people would even notice. Okay, now the outro, and something starts happening here at least. You got like a bit more of a solid beat. This one's starting to kick in. Have a listen, I'll show you. So you got that one, and you got this one. And see, it's got that coming through. It's like coming through underneath. Right? Oh. I guess that's the advantage of singing, but it's nice to do it freestyle. Okay, now this song's dropping off, and instead of waiting ages, this one's starting to come in. I'm like, okay, cool. Now, okay, so that's actually, just to recap, okay, we can mix over the outro, but instead of hitting play on the outro, maybe give yourselves a little bit of time to mix in before the outro. So if I was prepping cue points, I'd go in and find where the first bit of the outro is and maybe put a cue point, 8 or 16 bars. I think with the deeper kinds of house, I'd probably go back 16 bars, but if you're mixing pop music where you might have shorter intros and outros to work with, I'd probably go back 8. So what I've done is I found the outro, gone and put a mix out cue where I'm going to mix in my new song, 16 bars before the outro, and that means if I hit play there, just at the moment on the first beat of the song, 8 bars to beat match, coming in over the end of the chorus ends, my new song kicks in. But now, before I talk about actually maybe putting something more exciting on the outro and putting a cue further into the song, let's just quickly look at the EQ. So I've done a video called bass swapping. I'll link that in now. I think that's really, really important. I think that will go hand in hand and give you the kind of depth you need on bass swapping. It's a really good video. I think that's important to watch, but I'll just do it very quickly here. So what happens is, if you've got 2 songs playing, and the EQ here, that's controlling the frequencies of the song. If that's how the song comes recorded straight up like that. And if that's just straight up the whole time and you go bring it in, especially when you've got subwoofers and stuff, you can have bass on bass, a lot happening. It sounds pretty messy. So realistically, let's pretend this is the song playing. This is my new song I'm going to bring in. You want to kind of peel back the EQ on your incoming song. So when it comes in, it's kind of sitting in the background. Now, personally, I think I've got this method. I think honestly, again, I've got the best material on teaching people how to use the EQ. Everyone kind of knows that, and no offense, everyone else is doing a great job. This is not a competition thing. I just think my EQ work and my phrasing work and all the stuff that you really need to kind of like be a really confident DJ that just works universally. Like, I'm very proud of that kind of content, but I think instead of going into the whole EQ now, I think for a beginner, I'd just be working bass swapping, and that is reducing the bass for the incoming song that you're about to bring in. Now, have a listen to that. A lot of people take that all the way down, but I think that sounds a bit tinny. I just think you need to take off the edge. See, listen, you got the full song there. Let's go in where there's a bit more bass. See there? I've got down there a bit tinny. Here, I've got a little bit of warmth. So personally, I think your beat match, probably with that up so you can hear it in your headphones. Once you beat match, take out the bass to 9 o'clock, right, for the song you're going to bring in. So when it comes in, it's sitting in the background. And then the advantage of coming in over the end of the chorus is, once it hits that first beat of the outro, we can swap our basses, and that makes my new song dominant, and it puts my old song in the background. Let me show you that. Okay, cool. Beat match or sync, but try and beat match, man. Sounding good. Take out my bass. Cool. And then when the chorus ends here, the first beat of the outro swap. Okay, and it makes it better. And even if the song's not in key here, well, and it's a key clash, it doesn't matter because I'm mixing over the outro. So who cares? I'll be like, cool. Okay. Okay, but here's the thing. Let's say you've mastered that. Like, I think that's a good place to start. Just actually go put your cue point 16 bars earlier before the end of the chorus. Maybe just have your mixing cue on the first beat. But once you've kind of got the hang of that, if you're still waiting for your new song to kick in, maybe you just want to cut to the chase a little bit. So what you could do is you could go maybe put a cue point further into the song. So you could even find a cool bit that you like and maybe set a cue point 16 bars earlier. And it just is going to make it a little bit more punchy. Let me show you. Cool. Beat match. Reduce the bass. I would be doing more EQ, but I think for a beginner, start with bass swapping. Come in over the end. Cool. And you'll just see the goal with this, by having your cue a bit further in, maybe you cut to the chase, make your mixes a little tighter. It's going to come in. And see. And see, that's kind of cool. That's how I mix, to be honest. And then, you know, later you could be doing like, again, all taught in the course, but don't get confused by that. I was just showing off, just having a good time. Okay, so let's say though you're mixing without cue points. You're lazy, okay? You don't want to even set cues. Personally, I have got a video. I've got a free mini course. I'll put the link in the description where, you know, you just give me your email, and to be honest, I give you like 20 videos. I'm not going to spam you. I never send emails out at all. Sometimes I've got like sales going on, but I just want to help you kind of to build momentum. And yeah, sure, I want to build a relationship with you, and I love doing that, and I love what I do. But yeah, in my free mini course, I've got stuff on harmonic mixing, where to set cue points. I kind of, you know, really the goal is to get you started, build a relationship with you, and then kind of give you a taste of a teaching as well, and you know what you can expect in the actual Club Ready course, which, to be honest, the course, man, if you're serious, just go get the course. It's way better. But they're all pretty good uses of information. But anyway, let's say though you're not mixing with cue points at all. Okay, so what people do, forget this one has got some cues, but what a lot of people do is they're just like, you know what, I'm just gonna put my first beat on this drop. So let's say now, you know, see this, the drops there, this bit here. Terrifying embers burn so soft and tender. Cool, okay. And what they're doing is they're hoping that their intro and their chorus is the same length, and you're hoping that by the time this chorus drops off, your new song starts kicking in. Okay, let's give it a go. Okay, cool. So then I can take my bass out coming in. But now you've got to be careful of swapping the basses too soon. If I go swap now, the chorus is still going. So now it's more like it's a little bit with cue points. You know exactly when to swap the bass. You're playing with these intervals like 16 bars before, but now it kind of feels like it's dropping off. I might go intuitively. Okay, it's kind of okay. You know, you don't get the same control, but it's a lot of fun. Again, cue points always make sure that it works every time, but you know, putting the first beat of the song on the first drop, the first beat of the second drop here, you know, it works a lot of the time too, and it can be fun. I've got more videos on it in my course, and I've got a really good one in the course about this, but still. I'm just peeling back the EQ here, creating space for this one. You know, once you're saying get better, you can even use like filters. You even start adding echoes, again, all taught in the course, but still, let's go. Just got that right in the background, so it's subtle. I like that. All in all, DJing is so much fun, but I think where a lot of new DJs go wrong is they try to hit the more advanced transitions and even effects before they've really set up some solid foundations. And when they can't get their mixes to consistently sound good, they lose confidence and their goals of being a DJ, they just get abandoned. So if you're starting out, mixing over the outro is a surefire way to get used to DJing. And once you're thinking less about the mixing process and you're feeling more into each transition and ultimately having a good time, right, then honestly you can grow organically into the more difficult transitions.